All right, today's question is how can I up the game for excellent employees that I have? People are already producing really well, doing really great work, but they don't necessarily want to improve themselves or their ability to do their job. They're pretty happy where they're at. And this is a question that doesn't have a linear answer. It's not a step-by-step thing because it involves more of a dialogue, the kind of dialogue that is not about telling people what to do or to, in some linear process, find out what they need. Although there is a process, but and it may in some ways be linear, but a lot of it is non-linear. By that I mean it requires a different kind of thinking, a different kind of approach. The approach that I take is more of a conversational coaching kind of process, and I'll explain. So in coaching, you're trying to elicit the best out of people instead of advising them or necessarily even brainstorming with them, although that could be part of coaching. But coaching directly is really about asking questions, the fine art and science of asking particular questions to elicit information that most people may not even realize that they actually have inside them or in their mind. Most people actually have a clear idea of what they want and how they want to get there, but they don't necessarily can clarify. They know pretty much what they don't want, but they're not articulate enough to say what they actually want. So it's your job as a leader or as a coach or a mentor. If you're interested in doing this, in developing your group, then you inevitably are a coach and a leader, whether you like it or not. You have to take on those skills. So part of it is asking the right questions. Now this comes with a lot of artistry and experience and intuition. Intuition comes from really a lot of practice. And some of you may not be practiced in this, and I acknowledge that. This is why I'm brought in as a consultant sometimes to facilitate these kinds of conversations, because I've been doing them for years. But the point is, I want to give you as much as possible here. You want to start asking them questions that are more open-ended questions like, what would you like to see happen in your career or even in your personal life for the next 5, 10 years? Now, most people don't get asked these questions like that. They're usually told, well, what do you want to do? What do you want to learn? Most people are kind of hard-pressed because they're not really clear, you see. So you're going to find out where they want to be in the next 10 years, 5 years. Now, there are some advantages to asking these questions. One is you'll find out what they actually really want and be able to link what you want with what they want. Because if you don't know what they want, even if it's different from what you want, then if you find out what they want, you can actually conceivably link what you want with what they want and create a workable agreement that way. That's a possibility. The other part of this is that you'll find out exactly how to coach them. And a lot of times what they'll see naturally for themselves, you don't even have to point this out, is that if they want to get to where they want to be, even if it has nothing to do with your company at first, they may have to handle some of the things that you want to train them to be. For example, leadership, time management, etc. They want to continue growing in their career or do another career or different industry even. They may still have to learn those skill sets that are required for them to move up in your organization. So it's important to elicit this out. So you can tell this is a very different kind of conversation. The other thing you may discover is, you know what, there's absolutely nothing in common here. They're probably going to leave your organization in about 5 years, or when you decide to retire or semi-retire. They may only stay on because of you, and after that they may not want to hang out. Now that's still a good thing to find out. It's still a very good thing to find out because now you know at least you need to plan and do a reorganization. So having said that, you want to ask questions that are more in the domain of coaching. These are questions like, what would you like to see happen in the next 5, 10 years? What are your specific objectives inside of that? How would you know that you got there? What are your primary challenges in getting there? And these are questions I know that sound quite deep. Oh my God. And some people may have a hard time answering this, but you have to dig in, and this is where the retraining for you as a leader is critical, because most people give up when they hear the other person say, well, I don't know. Then they don't do anything because they're not thinking laterally and they're not thinking in terms of context, like why is this person confused? Maybe I have to ask a different question to elicit what really is behind that. So they say, I don't know. I usually respond by saying, well, if you did know, what do you think it would be? Now, it's kind of a tricky question, but most people laugh and they go, it forces them to think a little bit more and dig a little deeper. And if they don't at that point, there are many other questions to ask, and it's outside of the scope of this short video. But I promise you there are. So I realized that this may be a more complicated question to answer, but I'm doing my best to give you what I can in about 5 minutes or so. And if you still have questions, feel free to set up a free consultation with me, and I'll show you some of the questions you could ask and how you can direct this in a sensible but workable manner that makes sense for your employees as well. I look forward to working with you in the future. Thanks.